The best academy is considered a high-need school, with over half of students receiving free or reduced lunch. It is a single-gender, all-boys school in the inner city of Atlanta. There are about 20 students. The projected duration of this lesson is one 90-minute block class, and it is in ninth grade American Government Civics. By the end of the lesson, the learner will be able to answer all of the self-generated questions about the preamble to the Constitution and what factors influenced it. For example, the philosophies of John Locke and Thomas Hobbes, which discuss how much power an individual should have in society. The state standards in Georgia are clear. Standard SSCG3 states that the student will demonstrate knowledge of the United States Constitution. We will start with the preamble and then go forward. The preamble will introduce the core concepts of the Constitution. The learning materials needed are four: a Promethean board, computers with internet access, writing utensils, and paper. On the Promethean board, the teacher will present the puzzlement of the lesson, in this case, 3 pictures referencing the Revolutionary War period. For content-based literacy skills, students will be engaging in critical thinking, reflective thought, literate thinking, multiliteracies, and collaborative and social dialogue. Students will have to work together to answer their own self-generated questions. For motivation, the teacher will present the puzzlement to the class on the Promethean board, in this case 3 pictures. The teacher will ask students what questions they have and write them on the board. For instance, the teacher will say, while looking at the pictures and thinking about what we learned over the past few weeks, as well as their experiences, what questions do you have? Next, the teacher will write questions that students have on the board. For example, why is Philadelphia in the background? Why is the lion sleeping? Or what does the cow symbolize? After writing students' questions on the whiteboard, the teacher will divide them into groups to research the questions. This will serve learning objectives and address broader or specific pedagogical goals of expanding, developing students' reading skills, because students will research questions that they generated, which will likely increase their motivation. Since they asked the questions, it's original and it's not something imposed on them, and can therefore satisfy their innate curiosity. The learner will be divided into even groups to research the questions. Students will be given a choice concerning the question based on whichever question the group leader wants. If there is a dispute, a coin will be flipped to determine which group gets the question. When groups are set, one member will be designated as timekeeper. The members will conduct their research on the computer. The lesson will culminate with students sharing their results in class. Each group will present their findings in a concise and a coherent manner. For example, the teacher will ask Group 1, what did you find out about Philadelphia? And for Group 2, what did you find out about the lion? Group 3, what did you find out about the cow? At this point, the teacher can ask what summary statements can we say about the preamble to the Constitution, and what other examples can you reference? Also, students will be asked to write down any additional questions they may have as a group and share it with the class for the next session. This will be assigned as homework. There are no special education students in this class. To accommodate learners with IEPs, there will be differentiated instructional practices. For example, a detailed worksheet giving instructions on the day's lessons, group work, and also the use of pictures. Formative assessment in this learning plan will be used by the teacher to monitor student progress, evaluate key assessments, and make necessary adjustments to the lesson. This will be done by questioning students and listening carefully to their responses, as well as encouraging metacognition and self-reflection. The main learning theory applied in this learning plan is constructivism, because students get to choose the topic, generate their own questions, and answer them. In other words, they're constructing their own knowledge, which therefore increases their motivation to perform the task. The strength of this learning plan is that it is relatively simple, non-cumbersome, and student-centered. The weakness of this learning plan is that the teacher may have to guide the direction of the conversation and the questions. For instance, if you have students who are not mature enough to engage in this activity, it may be difficult to stay on task.